Allah Azza wa Jalla mentions, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا مِنْ قَبْلِكَ مِنْ رَسُولٍ إِلَّا نُوحِي إِلَيْهِ أَنَّهُ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا أَنَا فَاعْبُدُونِ. And we have not sent from before you a messenger except that we reveal to him, none has the right to be worshipped except for me, meaning Allah, therefore worship me. And likewise the Salah. The Salah was an act of worship that was obligated upon the previous nations, as well as the Zakat, as Allah وَمَا إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ حُنَفَاءَ وَيُقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَيُؤْتُوا الزَّكَاةَ وَذَلِكَ دِينُ الْقَيِّمِ. And they were not commanded except that they worship Allah alone sincerely, making their religion for Him, and that they establish the prayer, and that they pay the zakat, and that is the upright religion. And as for the Hajj, Allah Azza wa Jalla mentions, وَلِلَّهِ عَلَى النَّاسِ حِجُّ الْبَيْتِ مَنِ اسْتَطَاعَ إِلَيْهِ سَبِيلًا. And for Allah, upon mankind, the obligation of making the pilgrimage to the house for the one who has the ability to do so. And as for fasting, then the statement of Allah, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا كُتِبَ عَلَيْكُمُ الصِّيَامُ كَمَا كُتِبَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. O you who believe, fasting is prescribed upon you just as it was prescribed upon those before you in order that you may attain piety. So these are the proofs and evidences from the text that show that the 5 pillars of Islam, these 5 pillars were actually practiced with the previous nations. That is, these 5 pillars of Islam, they are not something that's specific for the nation or the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. But the previous prophets and messengers, they also practiced the 5 pillars. Barakallahu feekum. From the wisdoms of fasting, number 1, it is an act of worship that gets one closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's the goal right there. It's ibadah. Fasting is worship. Yes, there are health benefits. Yes, there are other, but the main theme, the main reason behind Allah obligating fasting is so that we worship Him with the fast. So our fast, barakallahu feekum, is not just staying away from food and drink, staying away from desires, and then that's it. And that's the only goal or intent, is to be hungry, to be thirsty, to go against our desires. We do that for the sake of Allah. We are hungry for the sake of Allah. We are thirsty for the sake of Allah. We are leaving off our desires for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the siyam is ibadah. And ibadah is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when a person fasts in the month of Ramadan, this is a testimony to his or her faith. That you are implementing this pillar of Islam, adhering to the tenets of the deen, showing that you are a Muslim. Just like when you took the Shahada and said, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, and you established the prayer. All of this is establishing your Islam. Likewise, fasting is from that. When you pay your zakat, this is you establishing the tenets and the pillars of Islam, showing that you are Muslim. Because when you said La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that means you're going to implement what Islam says to do. So you pray 5 times a day. So you pay your zakat. So you fast in Ramadan. So you make the Hajj to Yarhamakallah. You make the Hajj to the house of Allah in Mecca. That we desire. That's one of the great benefits of the fast. From the benefits of the fast, when you fast, your veins become restricted. And we know that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he mentioned, إِنَّ الشَّيْطَانَ يَجْرِي مَجْرَ الدَّمِ فِي ابْنِ آدَمَ. That indeed the shaitan, he runs through the son or the child of Adam like the flowing of the blood. So the scholars, they say when you fast, the veins become restricted, so it limits the movement of the shaitan within the person. And this is why the Prophet ﷺ had advised the youth to fast. When he said, who don't have the ability to get married, يَا مَعْشَرَ الشَّبَابِ مَنِ اسْتَطَاعَ مِنْكُمُ الْبَاءَ فَلْيَتَزَوَّجْ وَمَنْ لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ فإنه أحفظ للفرج وأغض للبصر ومن لم يستطع فعليه بالصيام فإن له وجاء. أو كما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم. O youth, upon you is to get married. O youth, upon you is to get married. And the youth, it starts from the shab from puberty up until 40 years of age. These are the shabab, actually, in Islam. From the time the youth or the child reaches puberty up until the age of 40. This is the time when a person is a shab or shabab. So the Prophet said, whoever has the ability from amongst you, then let him get married. And he feels that's religion. That's the best of both worlds. Right? Alhamdulillah, who doesn't want that? The best of both worlds. So when you marry someone who is pleasing to your eye, the scholars, they say, this helps you to lower your gaze. But if you marry someone that is not that pleasing to your eye, then the effect that it has upon lowering the gaze is lesser than it would be if the person or your spouse was pleasing to the eye. And this is why Imam Ahmad rahimahullah ta'ala, he said, ask about the woman's beauty first. If she's beautiful, then ask about her religion. If she's religious, then marry her. If not, then turn her down. Don't ask about the religion first. Why? Say that again. And then but have not found a suitable spouse, or they're not in a position to get married, upon you is fasting. Don't say it doesn't work. Otherwise, the fasting is from that. This is a prophetic remedy for the controlling of one's desires. So sometimes it's not going to just be one day of fast. You fast one day, all of the desires are gone. But with the consistency of fasting, you're going to see the discipline. You're going to see the desires becoming under control and the likes. So from the benefits of fasting, that one is able to gain mastery over himself and control the stomach. So with the fasting, this is a means of purifying one's physical body. The next narration, Abi Hurairah radiyallahu anhu, qala fasting. He leaves off his desires, he leaves off his food for my sake. This narration, barakallahu fikum, gives us the true meaning of legislative fasting. Refraining from food and drink and desires for the sake of Allah. And that's what's important. For the sake of Allah. If a person is not doing this for the sake of Allah, then the only thing the person is experiencing is hunger and thirst and the lack of fulfillment of one's desires. That's it. But when a person is leaving off these things for the sake of Allah, then there is a tremendous reward. Why? Because the person, he answered the call of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kutiba alaykum as-siyam. You answered that call. All you who believe, fasting has been prescribed upon you. And also it is from that which brings pleasure to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Another narration mentions يَتْرُكْ طَعَامَهُ وَشَرَابَهُ وَشَهْوَتَهُ مِنْ أَجْلِهِ, that he leaves off his food, or he abandons his food, his drink, and his, because what leads to the haram, it is haram. And this is why you find in the narration where the young man came to the Prophet ﷺ and asked for permission, and the Prophet did not give him permission. But then the older man came and asked for permission, and the Prophet gave the older man the permission to kiss his wife. And this was not an issue of discrimination. The Prophet discriminated upon the youth. He was not discriminating, he was protecting the youth. That's what he was doing. He was protecting the youth from falling into destruction. Like when the man slept with his wife during the daytime of Ramadan, we came to the Prophet, what he said? Ya Rasulullah, halakt. The old messenger of Allah, I'm destroyed. The Prophet said, Ma ahlakaka, what destroyed you? He said, Waqa'atu ala imra'ati. He said, I fell upon my wife. Meaning I had relations with her. So having relations with one's spouse during the daytime, the crack of dawn, to the break of dawn. And then after, we complete the fast until the night. And night means when the sun sets. And this verse is the proof that supper and your prayers throughout the day, and especially the prayers at night, is your salah. What's the time? Make the dua. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned thalathatun da'watuhum la turad. There are three categories of people whose supplications are not rejected. Al-Imam al-Adil, the just Imam. Was-Sa'im hatta yuftir, and the person who is fasting until he breaks his fast. Wa-Da'wat al-Madlum, and the supplication of the oppressed. So here, as-Sa'im hatta yuftir, so the whole entire time that you are fasting, your du'as are answered. Take advantage of that. Wallahi, take advantage of that. How many things that we are in need of? And then the things that we want from the good, of course. Don't make dua for sin. Don't make dua that your man put you in contact with Poppy to get that good connect. Right? Wallahi, English. Prior to my Islam, wallahi, I have made dua and be patient, then the matter is delayed. You'll get the full right on your Qiyamah. But the more you make dua against the person who has oppressed you, it takes away from what you're going to get on your Qiyamah from the individual. Yeah. But sometimes some people are in need of that dua being made against them because they just go too far. There was a Sahabi, I think it was Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas. We have the complete volume of Muslim. Yeah. No, yes, no, I don't have to see. No, it looks like something missing. It's complete. It's complete? It's incomplete.
No, it's complete, but it's all right.
And there's 1, 4, 5, 6.
It's just 4 down.
Where's 2 and 3?
Look at 1, 2, 3. Small.
Oh,
In the middle. Right there.
that's Sahih Muslim.
That's Muslim.
But you know what? Narrations in Muslim. Let me see. Let me volume 1 and volume 2. Narration is in Muslim. The narration it deals with the prayer of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But it was a Sahabi who was praying, and there was a complaint sent to Umar ibn Khattab regarding how this individual was praying. That he was praying too long. But the narration is mashallah, it's very important. And it's connected to the matter of the brother's question. Moderation, put this back. Professor Sam we don't have the Arabic there, do we? No? Actually, something is missing from here. So you see that the volume 1 of Bukhari? Right there. Right above, right there, yeah, over to your left. To your left. Yeah, that one. Yeah, let me see that volume 1. Okay, this way. Say that again. In any event, because I don't see it in this. The narration is that Umar ibn Khattab, radiallahu anhu, he, as we know, in his Khaleefah, he put the companions in positions of leadership as governors over countries and lands. And of course, that is due to the fact that they were the most knowledgeable of the people. So Umar ibn Khattab, radiallahu anhu, he put these companions in place. And there was a companion that was placed over a region, and the people, they sent a complaint to Umar ibn Khattab saying that the Sahabi, that he was prolonging the prayer. He was prolonging the prayer, meaning and making it too long. So Umar ibn Khattab, he investigated the situation. He didn't just take the word of what was said, but he investigated the situation. So when he came and he started to investigate, he started to find that the people did not have any complaints. And then when he came to one area, there was a man who stood up and said that the Sahabi, he was unfair, and he puts his the people he loved, his friends basically, like in the position of leadership. And when it comes to going to war, he's a coward. He don't go out. Like totally disrespected this companion. So the Sahabi, he said, making dua, "Oh Allah, if this man did this seeking fame, then give him long life and make him be afflicted." Here we go. The hadith is hadith number 755 in Sahih Bukhari. It's narrated by Jabir ibn Samurah. The people of Kufa complained against Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas. They complained against Sa'd to Umar ibn Khattab, and the latter dismissed him and appointed Ammar as their chief. They lodged many complaints against Sa'd, and even they alleged that he did not offer the salah properly. So Umar sent for him to question him. to investigate what's going on. So he said, "Oh, Abu Ishaq, these people claim that you do not offer the prayer properly." Abu Ishaq, he said, "I swear by Allah, I used to offer the salat similar to the salat of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and I never reduced anything of it. I used to prolong the first 2 rak'ahs of Isha and shorten the last 2 rak'ahs." Umar ibn Khattab said, "Oh, Abu Ishaq, this is what I thought about you." And then he sent one or more persons with him to Kufa to go around and ask the people what's going on. So they went there and did not leave any masjid without asking about Sa'd. And all the people praised him. He says we got to investigate sometimes. People make complaints, and then you go investigate the complaints. It's not what is being said about the person. Anyway, Umar ibn Khattab, he sends the person or the people to go to ask. So they're going around the masajid asking. And nor was he just in his verdicts when he would give verdicts. So Sa'di said, "Amma wallahi, la'ad'uwanna bi thalathin. Allahumma, in kana abdu hadha kadhiban, qama riya'an wa sum'atan, fa'atil umrahu, wa atil faqrahu, wa arridhu bil fitan." So Sa'd, after this man, Usama bin Qatada, said what he said about Sa'd, Sa'd said, "I'm going to ask Allah for 3 things. Oh Allah, if this slave of yours is a liar, and he got up to show off and seek fame, give him long life, increase his poverty, and afflict him with trials and tribulations." So the sub-narrator says, فَكَانَ بَعْدْ إِذَا سُئِلَ يقول شيخ كبير مفتون أصابتني دعوة سعد الله المستعان. قال عبد المالك فأنا رأيته بعد قد سقط حاجباه على عينيه من الكبر وإنه ليتعرض للجواري في الطرق يغمزوهن Allah musta'an. So Abdul Malik, the sub-narrator, he said, or Naam, it is stated in the narration, oppressed and the oppressor. And what's from oppression? Lying upon somebody. Saying something about somebody that's not true. Because Usama bin Qatada, he lied on Sa'd. Basically called him a coward. Said he was not distributing the wealth properly, meaning he would give to his favorites and not give to others. And when he would judge, he was unjust in his rulings. So now Sa'd made dua against him. The man lied on Sa'd with 3 things. Sa'd made dua against him for 3 things. The wealth property, meaning he was doing what? Keeping some for himself, right? And maybe giving to his friends, and keeping some for himself out of fear of what? Poverty. Oh, Allah, give him poverty. Give him long life and give him poverty. And then he said he's not just. Right? That he's not just in his rulings. And when you're not just, this is fitna.